New footage has gone viral showing Trippie Redd behind bars, and this time his arrest is tied directly to 6ix9ine's girlfriend's murder.
If 6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over.
Remember when he made that threat? Now fans think he followed through, but instead of 6ix9ine, he went after someone close to him. And the way investigators pinned it on him is the real shocker. Let's break it down. Trippie Redd, arrested in connection to 6ix9ine's girlfriend's murder investigation. In just 3 weeks, the hip-hop world was rocked by two major events. First, 6ix9ine's close friend and alleged girlfriend, Ariela La Langosta Mejia Polanco, was murdered in cold blood on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York. Then before the shock of her death could even settle, footage of Trippie Redd in jail surfaced, sparking rumors that he had been arrested for the murder. Considering the long, messy history between Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine, it's no surprise people immediately started connecting the dots. Their beef dates back to 2017, and it's one of those cases where personal betrayal and street politics mix into a powder keg that can explode years later. The whole situation started over a girl named Alex, and let me tell you, this wasn't just any regular love triangle drama. Trippie was dating Alex around 2016 to 2017, during his early rise with mixtapes like A Love Letter to You. She was appearing in his social media posts, inspiring songs like Love Scars, basically playing the role of the supportive girlfriend helping build his brand and his image. Then 6ix9ine came into the picture after their breakup and started dating her in mid-2017, which Trippie felt was a straight-up violation of the unspoken code. Now in the streets, there's rules about respect, especially when you're dealing with people you're supposed to be working with. Trippie felt like 6ix9ine violated that code by pursuing Ilex when she was allegedly underage, which led to him calling 6ix9ine a pedophile and weirdo in public rants that went viral across social media. This wasn't just hurt feelings talking. This was about respect, loyalty, and the kind of principles that matter in the culture. But the disrespect reached its peak when 6ix9ine altered the lyrics of his hit Gummo during a club performance, rapping, "Shout out Trippie Redd, but I that in a," directly referencing Alex Dot. That public humiliation, captured on video and shared everywhere, was basically 6ix9ine throwing gasoline on an already burning situation. In hip-hop culture, that's the kind of disrespect that can follow you for years, the kind of disrespect that creates enemies for life. The professional side made things even more toxic. Trippie claimed he was instrumental in getting 6ix9ine signed to 10K projects, and that he earned a finder's fee, allegedly getting 10% of every hit 6ix9ine had, including Gummo and Kiki. Whether that's true or not, Trippie felt like he created a monster that turned around and bit him. Professional jealousy mixed with personal betrayal is a dangerous combination in any industry. But in hip-hop, especially when you're dealing with cats who got street ties, it can get deadly real quick.
Y'all expect me to be good to people that wasn't good to me? Man.
The situation escalated beyond social media drama when 6ix9ine orchestrated a physical attack on Trippie at a New York hotel in November 2017. This wasn't some random street altercation. This was calculated revenge involving gang members from 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Anthony Harv Ellison punched Trippie in the mouth, and Trippie went on Instagram Live showing his bleeding lip, calling out 6ix9ine for orchestrating the assault. That's when he made those direct threats that got everyone's attention.
Bro's a weirdo, bro. He be coming to my sessions, he'll sit there and be quiet, act like a bitch, bro. And he gonna say shit, bro. Like, he always in the cut, like, whispering and on some, like, little weird gay shit. Like, bro is not no savage, bro. Like, he's not really about anything, bro. And the fact that I gave this clout.
But here's where things get really complex, and why the street's starting to connect dots to Ariela's murder. During his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine testified that Trippie was affiliated with the 5'9" Brims, a rival faction to his 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Now, whether that's true or just 6ix9ine trying to justify his actions in court, it added a street-level intensity to their feud that went way beyond typical rap beef. This was real gang politics, mixing with personal vendettas and professional competition. The 5'9" Brims are no joke. They're a legitimate threat in multiple cities, involved in sophisticated fraud schemes, drug trafficking, and violent crimes including murders, shootings, and assaults. In January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a 5'9" Brims member, was sentenced to life for murdering Sean Pert, a real right member in Brooklyn. February 2025, 14 members of the 59 Brims and Bloodhound Brims in Brooklyn were charged in a conspiracy indictment for murder and 19 shootings. These ain't no wannabe street cats. These are certified killers with federal cases backing up their reputation. The beef between Trippie and 6ix9ine might have seemed like it cooled down after 6ix9ine's cooperation with the feds in 2019, when he snitched on his 9 Trey associates to get his sentence reduced from life to 2 years. But in the streets, that kind of disrespect don't just disappear. It simmers under the surface, waiting for the right moment to explode. 6ix9ine's cooperation with federal authorities earned him the snitch label and made him a walking target. Prosecutors warned during his sentencing that there is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same because of his cooperation. He and his family will have to take extra safety precautions. That warning extended to anyone in his circle, and Ariela La Langosta Mejia Polanco found herself right in the middle of that dangerous orbit. As the investigation unfolds and new details surface, one thing is certain: the streets never forget. In hip-hop beef and gang politics, revenge doesn't always hit the enemy directly. It often strikes the people closest to him. Whether Trippie Redd truly played a role in Ariela's murder is still unclear, but the timing, the history, and the street politics surrounding this case have everyone watching closely. This wasn't some random act of violence. It was a calculated move. So let's break down how Ariela's final moments unfolded. 6ix9ine's inner circle targeted in deadly street hit. Ariela Mejia Polanco, known as Ariela La Langosta, was found dead in her black Mercedes-Benz G-Class on the eastbound Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York, around 8 a.m. This wasn't some random violence or robbery gone wrong. Police immediately classified it as a targeted homicide, stating this was not a random act, and describing it as an orchestrated attack. When law enforcement uses words like orchestrated, you know somebody planned this execution with precision. Ariela was way more than just another Instagram influencer trying to get famous off 6ix9ine's name. This 33-year-old Dominican woman had built her own lane in New York's nightlife scene, working as a bartender, dancer, and model with over 566,000 Instagram followers. She was returning from a shift at Icon New York Lounge in Manhattan, where she worked as a beloved hostess and bartender, grinding to support her 2 children and maintain her lifestyle. The scene of the crime tells a story of pure violence. Her Mercedes showed shattered windows and multiple bullet holes, with the Westchester County medical examiner confirming she died from multiple gunshot wounds. Whoever did this wasn't trying to send a message, they were trying to send her to the grave, and they succeeded with ruthless efficiency. Now here's where 6ix9ine's world gets complicated. Ariela appeared in his 2023 music video for Wape and performed with him at venues like Toboga Room in New York, making her a visible part of his inner circle. While some media outlets incorrectly labeled her as his girlfriend, sources like TMZ and USA Today clarified she was a close friend or associate, which actually makes the situation more interesting from a street perspective. 6ix9ine's reaction to her death revealed the depth of their bond. Upon August 18th, 2025, he posted emotional tributes on his Instagram stories, calling her a tremendous woman, the Queen of New York, and my sister, writing, "You supported me in everything. NY won't ever be the same. I loved you." He also shared videos and photos of them together set to Aventura's Obsession, which he noted was their favorite song. What makes 6ix9ine's tribute significant is how it contrasts with his usual provocative persona. This man who built his career on trolling and controversy showed genuine vulnerability, posting in Spanish, "Yo te ame, I love you," and "mi nogra," a term of endearment. His use of sister and the emotional tone of his posts was atypical, underscoring the sincerity of his grief. The timing of her murder, just 6 days before 6ix9ine's arrest on August 23rd for violating supervised release terms, created a perfect storm of speculation. 6ix9ine was arrested for violating probation terms, including unauthorized travel to Las Vegas, failing drug tests, and missing mandatory drug screenings. While these violations had nothing to do with Ariela's murder, the proximity of events got people talking about connections that might not exist. But here's the real street tea about how 6ix9ine's feuds and gang history put everyone around him at risk. This man's cooperation with federal authorities in 2019, where he testified against 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods members, earned him the snitch label and made him a walking target. Prosecutors warned during his sentencing that there is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same because of his cooperation. He and his family will have to take extra safety precautions. The streets don't forget when someone breaks the code of silence. In his 2019 testimony, 6ix9ine detailed his role in 9 Trey, stating, "I wanted the aesthetic to be full of 9 Trey," and admitting to providing financial support for firearms, saying, "Keep making hits and be the financial support for the gang so they could buy guns." His cooperation led to convictions of high-ranking members like Anthony Harv Ellison and Aljamiah Nuke Mack. Social media speculation immediately connected Ariela's death to 6ix9ine's snitching past. X-posts reflected this sentiment with comments like, "That's why you don't date walking targets," and "To be in close proximity to him is crazy," nothing good being said about it. Some users posted, "Was she snitching too?" suggesting she might have been targeted for perceived disloyalty in gang circles. The nightlife venues where Ariela worked provided their own tributes that painted a picture of who she really was. Icon New York posted on Instagram, "Today we lost our shining star, Dariela La Langosta. Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out. Thank you for giving so much love and support to our home, which also became yours." Starlets of New York added, "The entire Starlets family is deeply saddened by the loss of Wariela La Langosta. She was a one-of-a-kind soul, a beautiful friend, loving mother, and daughter whose smile and energy lit up every room she entered. These tributes show she wasn't just someone riding 6ix9ine's coattails, she had her own relationships and reputation in the community. But there's another angle to consider. Reports indicate Ariella was also romantically linked to Nada Cartier, described as a suspected gang leader who was taken into custody for questioning after her death. This connection suggests her murder could be tied to Cartier's alleged gang activities rather than 6ix9ine's past, though no updates have been released about Cartier's status. Public figures in the hip-hop community also paid their respects. Cardi B posted on Instagram stories "R.I.P. Dominican Pretty," acknowledging Ariella's Dominican heritage and her prominence in the community. La Insuperable, the Dominican, a rapper, also mourned her loss, reflecting her impact in the Latin music community. What makes this situation particularly tragic is how Ariella seemed to be building something positive in her life. Her final Instagram post on June 7th, 2025 said "happy and blessed," showing her enjoying a night out. She was a mother working multiple jobs in New York's competitive nightlife scene, building her brand and supporting her family. The investigation involves local, state, and federal agencies, but as of August 24th, 2025, no suspects have been named and no arrests have been made. Westchester County Police continue to investigate, but the lack of public updates suggests either the case is complex or investigators are being careful about not revealing their hand. The broader context here is how 6ix9ine's controversial past creates a climate of danger for anyone in his orbit. His distinctive tattoos, including 69 inches on his forehead, make witness protection nearly impossible, and his refusal to fully distance himself from his old life keeps him and his associates in potential danger. Every person who gets close to him inherits some level of risk, whether they're aware of it or not. Trippie Redd street credentials examined against 6ix9ine's deadly gang history. All right, fam, let's get real about what we're dealing with when we talk about Trippie Redd's criminal history versus 6ix9ine's documented gang activities, because the difference between these two cats is like comparing a small-time hustler to a full-blown federal case. When you break down their respective street credentials, you start to understand why one of them had people around him getting murdered while the other is catching minor traffic violations. Trippie Redd's criminal record is surprisingly light for someone who talks about killing people in his music. Let's start from the beginning and work our way up to his recent arrest so you can see the pattern. In 2017, during his early rise to fame, there were reports of him being involved in a physical altercation in Atlanta, but no formal charges were ever filed. This was more like typical young rapper drama than serious criminal activity. The first real legal trouble came in May 2018, when Trippie got arrested in Atlanta for aggravated assault and battery after a woman claimed he pistol whipped her during an argument. Now that sounds serious on paper, but yo, he got released on a $5,000 bond and the case got resolved without a conviction. In the streets, that usually means either the case was weak or somebody worked out a deal behind closed doors. Either way, Trippie walked away without major consequences. A month later, in June 2018, he caught another charge in New York for public fighting outside a nightclub classified as disorderly conduct. This was straight up misdemeanor level foolishness, the kind of charge you get when you're young, famous, and making poor decisions about where to party. He paid a fine and kept it moving. He was later arrested for driving without a license.
I don't think you understand.
No, you don't understand. I don't care if you're Drake. So right now you should be arrested. I don't care who you have next to you. I don't care who you are. You have no license. The reason that I stopped you is because of your tinted windows. You both know what you were doing in there.
But here's something interesting that puts his street credibility in perspective. In November 2017, Trippie was actually the victim of violence when 6ix9ine's 9 Trey crew attacked him at a New York hotel. Anthony Harv Ellison punched him in the mouth on 6ix9ine's orders, and Trippie went on Instagram Live showing his bleeding lip. In that situation, he was the target, not the aggressor.
If 6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over. And I'm in New York right now, bro. You feel me? So it's like, if y'all really think, bro, about that, bro, really go tell that, like, pull up right now, like, right now, like, cause bro, a bitch, bro. You wanna know what bro did? Bro had niggas waiting for me at my hotel, some 9 Trey. As soon as I walk in the building, hit right in my mouth, nigga. Got hit in my mouth, and then my niggas beat his niggas' asses and then they ran. I chased the nigga myself, mostly. I ran them niggas is down. Myself.
Shout out to the
Me,
real
myself,
nine
and I.
trains, died on the hotel lobby.
Them niggas hoes
like
for
that.
real though. All them y'all niggas.
They don't know. This my battle wound. This my battle wound. You know me. Son.
But yeah,
Down this.
6ix9ine done. 6ix9ine cannot come to LA.
6ix9ine stands for a sexual position because he sucks rainbow-haired fat. Tekashi, I hope he's brother.
I just got back from a video shoot. He did.
6ix9ine got STDs. Fact.
He wanna preach. He wanna preach all this positive, all this weird.
Now let's contrast that with 6ix9ine's documented gang activities. And yo, the difference is like night and day. In November 2018, 6ix9ine was arrested as part of a joint investigation by the NYPD, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security Investigations, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, targeting the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. This wasn't some local beef or minor charge. This was federal RICO-level prosecution. The indictment against 6ix9ine detailed 6 serious counts, including racketeering conspiracy, firearms offenses, conspiracy to commit murder, violent crime in aid of racketeering, assault with a dangerous weapon, and committing crimes in aid of racketeering. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman stated, as alleged in the indictment, this gang, which included platinum-selling rap artist Tekashi 6ix9ine, wreaked havoc on New York City, engaging in brazen acts of violence. Let me break down some of the specific incidents that show you the level 6ix9ine was operating on. On March 20th, 2018, he helped attempt to kill a rival to increase my own standing in 9 Trey. On April 3rd, 2018, he participated in an armed robbery of a rival in Times Square, with stolen items recovered as evidence. On June 2nd, 2018, he paid $20,000 to an associate to shoot at rapper Chief Keef outside the W Hotel in Manhattan. But the most telling incident happened on July 16, 2018, when 6ix9ine conspired to shoot someone who disrespected 9 Trey, resulting in an innocent bystander getting shot in Brooklyn. Yo, that right there shows you the difference between street posturing and actual street violence. While Trippie was catching misdemeanor charges for bar fights, 6ix9ine was literally ordering hits on people. Now let's talk about the gang affiliation claims, because this is where things get really interesting. During his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine testified that Trippie Redd was a member of the 5'9 Brims, a rival faction to his 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. He stated, Trippie Redd was part of 5'9 Brims, that's why we had issues, suggesting their feud was partly driven by rival gang affiliations. But here's the thing about the 5'9 Brims. They're a legitimate threat in multiple cities. The 5'9 Brims originated in San Diego in the mid-1970s and have expanded to New York City, Atlanta, and other major cities involved in sophisticated fraud schemes, drug trafficking, and violent crimes, including murders, shootings, and assaults. In January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a 5'9 Brims member, was sentenced to life for murdering Sean Pert, a real right member in Brooklyn. In February 2025, 14 members of the 59 Brims and Bloodhound Brims in Brooklyn were charged in a conspiracy indictment for murder and 19 shootings. However, there's no independent evidence confirming Trippie's membership in the 5'9 Brims beyond 6ix9ine's testimony. Trippie's response to the gang allegations was cryptic. He posted on Instagram, "Omau, I was so determined to get to where I am now, love you all in my life," neither confirming nor denying the claim. His silence was probably strategic, avoiding legal scrutiny while not giving 6ix9ine the satisfaction of a direct response. Trippie's early association with the 1,400/800 Inches group in Canton, Ohio, where he joined the Bloods as a youth, appears to be more of a neighborhood cultural affiliation rather than active gang involvement. His older brother, who made music as Dirty Red, was killed in a 2014 car accident, and Trippie has cited this loss as motivation for his music career rather than gang activity. The credibility issue with 6ix9ine's testimony is significant. This is the same man who cooperated with prosecutors to reduce his potential life sentence down to 2 years, and his history of trolling and provocative behavior makes everything he says suspect. His attorney, Lance Lazaro, defended him by saying, "People who call Mr. Hernandez a coward for testifying are the real cowards. But in the streets, cooperation with authorities is seen as the ultimate betrayal." Now here's how 6ix9ine's documented gang activities put people like Ariella at risk. His cooperation violated the street code against snitching, and prosecutors noted, "There is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same because of his cooperation. He and his family will have to take extra safety precautions." The March 2023 assault on 6ix9ine at an LA fitness gym, where he was brutally attacked by multiple men and required hospitalization, shows that the threats against him are real and ongoing.
That's how they supposed to treat you. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take a picture. Go ahead. Take a picture. I want to be famous now. I want to be famous. Fuck.
Yo, this is Jump 6ix9ine, bro. Yo, homie, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan, bro. No, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I know, I ain't jumping, bro. I'm just like...
While no direct evidence links this attack to 9 Trey retaliation, the speculation was immediate and widespread. Anyone in 6ix9ine's orbit inherits some level of this risk, whether they're romantically involved or just close friends like Ariella. The difference in how these two artists handle conflict is telling. While Trippie's 2018 track I Kill People included violent imagery, it was artistic expression common in hip-hop rather than documented criminal activity. 6ix9ine, on the other hand, admitted in court to participating in actual violence, stating, "On or about June 2nd, 2018, in furtherance of 9 Trey, I paid a person to shoot at a rival member of 9 Trey to scare him." By 2025, both artists have moved in different directions. Trippie's most recent legal issue was the July 4th Miami International Airport arrest for a 2023 warrant related to driving without a license, from which he was released on a $150 bond. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine was arrested on August 23, 2025 for violating supervised release terms from his federal case, including drug possession and unauthorized travel. The tragic reality is that Ariella's murder, whether connected to 6ix9ine's past or not, illustrates how gang affiliations create ripple effects that can destroy innocent lives. While Trippie Redd's alleged 5'9" Brims connections remain unproven, and his criminal history shows minor infractions, 6ix9ine's documented involvement with 9 Trey created a climate of violence that potentially put everyone around him at risk. The streets don't distinguish between romantic partners, close friends, or business associates. If you're in somebody's orbit and they have enemies, you become a target by association. If you enjoyed watching this video and wouldn't mind more of such content, make sure to click on the card showing on the screen.